I want to tell you about this Phoenix Police Department story. There is kind of a scandal brewing here in Arizona. This article was put together by a guy here who's an ABC 15 staff reporter. His name is Dave Biscobing. Huge fan of this guy. Huge fan. I would tell you to go follow him at Dave Biscobing 15 on Twitter because he is just a grinder on the police here in Arizona. He just goes after them very hard, and we have a lot of respect for him for doing that. Kind of the whole weight of ABC 15 and all of their reporting, and you know, with him leading the charge, they have put together some outstanding reports that we have covered here. I think I played a large part of one of them a couple months ago. So he has this new article. It says Phoenix City Manager, the PD chief, call for an investigation after his report, the ABC 15 report, on a protest shooting trophy. What? The police have protest shooting trophies? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you, in fact. Phoenix's city manager and chief of police are calling for an outside investigation after an ABC 15 report exposed a commemorative coin shared and sold between a team of officers to celebrate shooting a protester in the groin in 2017. Okay, so literally they're trading coins. The challenge coins clearly depict the man being shot on the front and have the date of the protest on the back. The coins also have the following two phrases: "Good night, left nut." "Make America great again, one nut at a time." Police in Phoenix, folks. All right. Here is Dave Biscobing. Police shoot, then celebrate. Our latest ABC 15 investigation shows Phoenix police officers kept trophy to commemorate shooting a man in the groin during a protest. And here is the coin. Good night, left nut. And they have this guy getting hit in the nuts. Okay. We saw this in the news. Making America great again, one nut at a time. Phoenix AZ, August 22, 2017. I laugh, but this is disgusting behavior, right? I mean, this is the police celebrating shooting a guy in the groin and like having coins made and then transferring the coins from one person to another. Oh my goodness. All right. Phoenix Police Department trophy celebrates shooting a man in the groin. We have the video. Protest occurred August 22nd, 2017. Following President Trump's visit to the Phoenix Convention Center, things got tense. Phoenix police shot pepper balls at the feet of a crowd while some people threw objects and gas canisters back at the officers. It sounds like if they're throwing things, that sounds like that might be insurrection or like an incitement of insurrection. I'm not sure. In all of the chaos, the shooting of Joshua Coben became the iconic and lasting memory of the night. Video captured by the Phoenix station KTVK shows Coben kicking a gas canister away from the police. Seconds later, he's shot in the groin with what's called a pepper ball. Here it is.
That line of officers in defiance.
You just saw one of the protesters go up there and actually kick a can of that.
Out here that are kicking the pepper spray back, and a guy just got shot with a rubber bullet.
The video.
All right, so that's that. Right, he's okay. Hopefully his, his manhood is still intact. I'm sure that it is. I'm sure he's okay. Hopefully, I don't know. I haven't read the rest of the article just yet. Miss Faith clipped most of this today, but that's not the point, right? The point here is that the Phoenix police are sort of getting off on this. They're literally transferring coins from one person to another. Let's take a look at where this article goes. It says, no discipline. The coins were largely kept and shared by the Tactical Response Unit. As part of an ongoing class action lawsuit against the department for their protest response, Chief Jerry Williams and several members of the special unit were deposed. Right now, there's ongoing lawsuits because of the protests. People have been arrested and they're charged with crimes for just protesting, which of course is protected political speech, in my opinion. Williams' deposition took place August 2019. The chief was asked several questions about the coin, whether it would be appropriate for her officers to create or have an image like that, and she said no. But apparently no officers were investigated or disciplined related to the coin, according to an email sent to attorneys seeking records in 2020. Of course not. Why would they investigate them, folks? They're the police. They don't do anything wrong. In response to a request from any documents and actions related to the coin, they responded by saying there are none. There are none. No documents or actions. There are no records because the coin was not department-sponsored or funded coin. It's their personal coins, folks, that they were celebrating their performance of their duties. It's just like they should be congratulated for that, right? Dave says, any check on this statement from the Phoenix police, quote, any such coin, it exists. The PD knows it exists. The chief was shown it during a deposition. Officers testified that they owned, shared, and sold them, and the department and its lawyers have these records. In a statement sent to ABC 15, the Phoenix Police Department spokesperson said they did not participate in, encourage, fund, or sanction the creation of any such challenge coin. There is also no indication such a coin was used for any public or official purpose on the department's behalf. A review at the time by a commander with the department was unable to substantiate any claims of misconduct related to a challenge coin. All right, so this statement came out first, and then Dave Biscobing is saying, yeah, they know it, they knew it, they know it exists. She was shown it during a deposition, so they're just flat out lying about this. Some followers have pointed out something very troubling about the message on the front of the coin kept by the Phoenix police officers. Google, good night, left side. It's based off of a neo-Nazi imagery and slogan. I did not know. City of Phoenix cannot ignore this. Okay, so now it's ballooning. It's becoming even potentially a neo-Nazi slogan. Let's be very clear. Some of the officers who handled the BLM protest response and arrests of BLM supporters kept, shared, or sold this coin, and the Phoenix City Police Department didn't care. Read my story for their statements. One such iteration of good night, left side. Okay, so it's a different phrase, which I had never heard of. Disturbing neo-Nazi stickers have started appearing in central London. Okay, never heard of that. The sticker is representative of the potentially more violent form of neo-Nazi activism. Its use of a Dodge Charger vehicle is a disturbing and deliberate choice following the terroristic murder of Heather Heyer in Charlottesville. It is intended to threaten communities and individuals they perceive to be on the left, there in quotes. Right, so you have this good night, left side, a neo-Nazi symbol. Another one, good night, left nut. Is it similar? Yeah. Is it the same? I don't know. We've got 3 versions of this coin being passed around. They knew it. Phoenix police didn't do anything about it. Here are some statements from them. Joint statement from the police chief, Jerry Williams, and city manager, Ed Zucher. There are disturbing claims that members of the Phoenix Police Department circulated an inappropriate challenge coin related to the 2017 incident. This is unacceptable and not in line with the behavior expected of my officers, said Chief Jerry Williams. I not only expect more, but demand more from my officers. There are now new allegations that the language on the coin may be connected to hate speech. Hate speech. Hate speech in any form is unacceptable, even more so from officers who we rightfully hold to the higher standards of excellence, will not be tolerated, will take disciplinary action against officers involved in any illegal or unethical behavior. So we'll see. We'll see. Working together with Chief Williams, I have instructed the city attorney's office to begin the process of an outside investigation. We do not accept hate speech at the city of Phoenix. It's unacceptable. We must have an independent look at these disturbing allegations. And Dave Biscobing is responding saying, remember, Police Chief Williams knew. Governor Doug Ducey just appointed her to the state police board. I cannot emphasize this enough. This statement makes it sound like Chief Williams didn't know. She knew, and she knew 1.5 years ago. She was shown pictures in a deposition. Watch my story. I put the depo transcript in there. Okay, so that was their statement. Oh, no, we had no idea. No, I mean, are you serious? Nazi imagery on coins? Wow. All right, so we've got a new reaction on the coin kept by Phoenix police officers. This one comes from PLE, the Phoenix Law Enforcement Association, our police union here, which is the subject of continual criticism by yours truly because of what they do. The main union for rank-and-file police officers released this statement. President Michael Britt London said the role of the Phoenix Law Enforcement Association is to promote the positive role of the police profession, a task that we do not take lightly. We do not condone hate in any form. That is not what we stand for as police officers. The recent reports about the creation of a controversial challenge coin are concerning, and we trust a thorough investigation will provide additional information, at which time appropriate action can be taken. So what we're asking for now, or what many people are asking for, is who knew what and when, and why was this covered up for so long? Why is this only now sort of coming to everybody's attention? Well, it's because Dave Biscobing, that's number one. But why were our elected people? Why was our chief of police? Why was PLE, who presumably all knew about it because they had depositions years ago? Why is Alistair Adele, the county attorney? What are they doing about any of this? Well, here is Dave Biscobing. He keeps digging in. He says, the cases go on. She promised to do what's constitutionally required to anyway. We asked the below questions. We got the following answer. So Dave sent her these questions. What is the Maricopa County Attorney's Office position on the challenge coin and its ties to hate speech? Are you going to answer that? What actions will the County Attorney's Office now take to ensure these cases are fair and just and not tainted by officers who possess trophies tied to hate speech? Okay, those officers have been prosecuting a lot of people. They've been arresting a lot of people, charging them with crimes. They're carrying around hate speech, neo-Nazi propaganda. All right, is that going to impact your criminal case? Good question. Will MCAO collect and gather records related to the coin to ensure it's properly disclosed to defendants? So if you're charged with a crime and one of these officers was in possession of one of those coins, would you ever even know about it? Wouldn't you want to know about it? Right? If you're a defendant and you've got this cop carrying around what allegedly might be Nazi propaganda, or at least a highly inappropriate promotion of violence, I would say, right? Getting glee off of firing rubber bullets at protesters and hitting them in the groin as though it's some sort of a joke. Specifically, will the office review and reevaluate the protest cases, including the gang case? And so this is where things get a little bit squirrely. Now, the police are claiming that a lot of these protesters are, in fact, part of a gang, right? They're sort of trying to increase penalties for them. In Arizona, we've got some gang modifiers. Essentially, if you're a part of a gang, you're charged with an underlying crime, and you get gang terms, right? You add on these additional penalties because you're a part of a gang. Well, what our county attorney here has been doing has been saying, well, these sort of qualify as gang behavior. And we're going to show you what they mean. So Dave Bisco sent those over to the county attorney. County attorney responded. She said, recent reports of a challenge coin with alleged ties to hate speech created by members of law enforcement are very troubling. We do not have the results of an investigation. I want to make clear any information provided to my office will be carefully reviewed to ensure proper disclosure takes place. So they're saying we're going to get copies of it if we see it, if our officers had it. If you're a criminal defense attorney in Arizona, it might be a good time to make sure you're asking that question. City Phoenix manager tells ABC 15 they hired an outside law firm to handle the investigation. There was a review in 2017, but no records, and officers under the investigation are being reassigned to non-enforcement positions because they know, right? They know if they were in possession of that, they got to tell defense attorneys. Defense attorneys are going to have a field day with that. Rightfully so. Totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. Now, what is the Maricopa County Attorney's Office going to do with these protest cases, right? You see this all around the country, not just Arizona, but a lot of people are protesting and they're being prosecuted for protesting. We've seen it all throughout the summer stuff. Even people who were there at Capitol Hill, they're getting arrested even though they weren't in the Capitol building. Okay, we've covered several stories where people were outside of the Capitol building or they arrived the next day. We talked about 2 people like that. One person was arrested the following day for basically getting into a street fight with somebody the next morning or the next evening. I don't know. Wasn't there, but the media was saying this guy was a monster. He was threatening to kill Pelosi. He was part of the Capitol Hill riots. What a disaster, right? And he wasn't even there when it was all going on. He was there the next day. So you're starting to see on both sides, right and left. Okay, these protests were all about BLM and Antifa and the summer unrest. I think. Is that what that was? I can't even keep track anymore. There's so many protests going on in this country. But that was that, right? And Trump's people are getting arrested. Democrats' people are getting arrested. Now the question is, what are they going to do with those charges? Are they going to consider them to be gang members? Well, what's MCAO going to do? Defense attorneys and community leaders are calling for controversial gang charges against protesters to be dropped after learning that the Phoenix Police Response Unit possessed commemorative coins with neo-Nazi-inspired hate speech. Maricopa County Attorney Alistair Adele dodged questions on Monday, but she did call the report very troubling. Another law firm is getting involved, as is the mayor. City also told ABC 15 that Chief Jerry Williams will place officers under investigation and in non-enforcement assignments. They don't want him to continue to go write tickets and arrest people if those charges are going to be thrown out because they're neo-Nazi racists. It's not clear if any officers have been identified by the department and reassigned yet. ABC has confirmed 5 officers have admitted to possessing the coin in court testimony. Officer George Herr, Jeffrey Howell, we've got Glenn Neville, we've got Jay Scott, and John Sticka. So 5 Phoenix police officers who have been confirmed to be in possession of it. ABC 15 viewer also provided images from a 2018 eBay sale showing the coin for sale by Burry Bryce, another Phoenix police officer. Phoenix's response to the coin has evolved in recent days, beginning first in a dismissive statement that distanced the city from any such coin, so they're backtracking hard. On Friday, Phoenix police told ABC 15 that a commander did review at the time, but didn't find any misconduct. No, they didn't find any misconduct because they investigated themselves. They did a very thorough job. They looked hard, really hard. They had some hard conversations, talking to all sorts of people, digging. Are you sure? But at the end of it, no misconduct. Nothing even to worry about. Nothing to even report about. Not even any discipline. Status quo. A couple more years. In response to the follow-up questions, the city confirmed the commander who did the review was Brad Burt. Spokesman said there are no records related to this supervisor review because it probably didn't happen, folks. That's why there's no records. Phoenix Tactical Response Unit and its sergeant, Doug McBride, have been heavily involved in several controversial protest arrests and prosecutions. In one case, McBride testified before a grand jury to charge a group of protesters as a criminal street gang. His testimony is full of exaggerations and false statements. No surprise there. According to multiple defense attorneys, he repeatedly compares the groups to notorious street gangs like the Crips, the Bloods, and the Hells Angels. Sergeant McBride is the same so-called gang expert who either ignored or missed the fact that members of his own unit created and shared the challenge coin modeled after the neo-Nazi paraphernalia. What this demonstrates is that he has no credibility, should not be allowed to shape the prosecution of these protesters. So this is the guy, Doug McBride, right? He says he oversees the unit with many members who kept the coin, is the same one who testified before the grand jury the street gang charges against protesters. And here's how he justified it. How did they create this fictional gang? A woman by the name of Amy Caper says she's not a gang member. She's a graduate student. She doesn't run drugs, traffic guns, work in any organized crime ring, but she did protest police violence last year. And what happened? Well, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, the prosecutors here, and the Phoenix Police, they're prosecuting her and a group of 17 other defendants, including 3 minors, for being part of a criminal street gang following an October 17th protest in downtown Phoenix. In fact, officers and prosecutors allege the group is dangerous, and in some ways more dangerous than notorious gangs like the Crips, the Bloods, and the Hells Angels. Caper and other defendants could face 8 and 32 years in prison, between 8 and 32 years. The gang charges, based on broad and easily abused statutes, are a clear, quote, political prosecution. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Intended to silence dissent and scare protesters from organizing, according to community activists and groups like the ACLU. Arizona statutes say that the criminal street gang classification are so broad, they only require 2 of the following criteria to be met: self-proclamation, witness testimony or statements, written or electronic correspondence, paraphernalia or other photographs, tattoos, clothing or colors, and any other indicators. Phoenix Police Sergeant McBride, a grenadier who manages the tactical response unit and former gang detective, testified that all members of the group meet the criteria for 3 reasons. The first is chanting "all cops are bastards," which he claimed is self-proclamation. The second was that most of the group was dressed in black, which meets the colors requirement. And the third was that many of them carried umbrellas, which he claimed was part of their uniform. There you go, folks. So if you are, dressed in a Super Bowl sports jersey and you're walking down the street shouting something about Tom Brady being amazing and you have an umbrella in your hand, you are a part of a criminal gang, according to this Sergeant Doug McBride here from Arizona. Okay, do the police meet those standards? Let's see. Do the police meet those standards? Self-proclamation. Okay, they all say the same things largely. Witness statement, testimony or statements, written or electronic correspondence. Yeah, they communicate with each other. Do they have paraphernalia or photographs? I would say so, right? They all take group photos together. They all take headshots. They all have photographs. They all go on the walls. So yeah, they've got groups of photographs. They have tattoos. Yeah, many of them do have tattoos. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to them, but it doesn't say anything about that. Clothing or colors. Yeah, I mean, they all wear uniforms. They all wear badges. So you need 3. Okay, photographs. We got correspondence. We've got color. There you go. The police are a gang. You're welcome, Sergeant Doug McBride. So that's what's going on in Phoenix. That's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a scandal that just keeps, the tentacles will just keep spiraling out. So if you are somebody who's interested in that, buckle up. It should be fun. So we're going to continue to cover that. We hope you join us. Good reason to subscribe and be a part of our channel.